Hi there, bookish besties. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something that I haven't really done here before, which is a full like journal with me video where you guys will get to see my process and hear my thoughts of what I usually am thinking about when I am journaling my reviews. Usually I edit my journal with me's into like a short little reel or YouTube short or TikTok, and so I've never really done a full length video like this before with my journaling, but I thought it would be fun to bring you into that process and let you see how I go through the motions of making that. Before we get started, as per my usual, I am currently reading The Last Starborn Seer, and next up I'm going to be reading Winter's Wrath by Emma Casey Couette. Okay, let's get into today's journaling video. Okay, these are my two reading journals. The black one is for all reviews and the brown one is for everything else. And then I use my laptop during this because on Goodreads, I take the information from there because I like to write down the publisher, publish date, all that information. And then I also have my Storygraph open because I type up my review first so that way I have all my thoughts clear so then I can write it down in the journal afterwards. I don't always do that. Sometimes I write my journal first and then I type it up. It just depends on if I'm trying to like get my review up on NetGalley and whatnot. So let's start with the one that we just update all that information into this one where we do my trackers and all of that good stuff. This is the pen I'm using. It is a Pilot Juice 0.5. I use this one quite frequently because I like the way that the pink shows up on paper, so you will see it more. My first tracker is pretty simple here, and this just keeps track of everything I've read. I just put the title, the date, and then my star rating for the book. And then my next tracker you're going to see is by rating. So I have this little system with my little key here to tell me what color to highlight based off of what star rating. So I'll do that one. And then using the same method for my next tracker, it's by genre. So I have the same marker key, it's just two different things. So this one is for a fantasy book, so I will highlight that there. Depending on what I'm reading and the challenges that I'm doing, that can sometimes be the extent of what I add from my previous books there, but this one does fit into my alphabet challenge, so I'm going to put that down under V for Vile Lady Villains. I also know that this is an ARC, so we will have to update my ARC tracker as well here soon. But what I'm basically saying is that there's not usually that much to update in this one. This one is kind of for my creativity, so I don't end up going to this journal as often as I use my review journal, especially not when I finish a book. And that's it for this journal really, so we're going to close that one up and we will start on my review. This is surprisingly still my first review journal for 2026. I usually end up using about 3 per year, so I'm surprised that I haven't quite filled this one out yet. So we're going to open it up. We're going to use that Pilot Juice again, but on the table of contents to write down the title, the author, and then the dates read. I don't put the star rating because I'll put that in my review itself anyways. The reason I have this one along with the tracker in the first journal is so that I can keep track of specifically what's in this journal. So I have it both places. Anyways, we're going to move on to the review. So I have this open page and I'm going to use my lovely little clip here to hold down the pages to make sure that it's not trying to lift up while I'm journaling. I have this adorable washi tape from Archer and Olive. I love this style, the gingham, so I'm going to use that at the bottom here. And then I'm going to go in with this paper I have that has all this text on it. I don't remember where I bought this paper pad from, but I had it already ripped into this perfect strip that I loved using here. And then this is from a PET tape that I got while I was in Japan, and I thought it looked really pretty. And then my mushrooms, I have a lot of mushroom stickers, and I think those ones are from Journal Say, but I thought it would look cool in this little corner. When I think about space in my journal, I like to go from the corners and try to build inwards, and then I kind of just go with the feel of whether it looks too crowded or not. So at the top here, I'm only putting this washi tape that I like with this pretty little bow, so that it's not overcrowded. And then I like this color of this washi tape because it goes well with that bow washi, I feel like. And this is also from the Archer and Olive collection that gingham one's in. So I'm going to put that on the side this time, put it vertical, and then we will build off of that to see what space we have around it. So I'm going to put these little stickers in the corner. I have another one for the top corner, but I'm not putting that down yet because I wanted to see what else I wanted around there. So I decided to use another strip of that same paper from before underneath it so that it can cover up the edges with that corner piece. I don't know if that's making any sense. And then I have this little pattern paper that I like to cover it with, so it has a little bit more layers to it. And then I'm just adding a bunch of little stickers I have around that I feel like it's nice to add smaller details to the page and just layer things on top of each other. But I feel like the space wasn't being used in the middle as much, so I put some little stickers around the edges of that so it can fill it out a little bit more. So you'll see me just adding so many random little details because I feel like it just makes it pop a little bit more if you do these smaller things there. And that's basically it for the designing of it. I don't know how much more I can bring you into the process because I'm kind of just going with the flow and figuring out how I want the space to be used. So now I'm going in with my brush pen type 1. I got this one in Japan and I can't read it, but I'm really loving it so far. So I'm going to use that for my title, and I'm just making little edges to it to make it look like fancy type. I don't know how to explain my type because I just kind of try to copy text from different things to try to make my titles different, and I kind of layered this one up and down. I don't know if you can see what I'm talking about, but they're not all on the same level to have even type because I want them to be a little bit more characterized, I guess. And so I have a smaller brush pen that I'm putting the author's name in, so that way that one can be standing out as well. And then up in this top corner, I put all my extra information that matters to me. So my star rating, the publisher, the published date, the genre, all that good stuff that matters to me and might not matter to other people. But when I look back at the reviews, this tells me all those informations I want to know. I've kind of developed what I know I want to look back on over time since I have journaled for a while, and I'm sure it's different for every person depending on what they actually care about to look back on. But I just slowly over time changed it because it wasn't always the same information. I never used to write down the publisher, but since I do request ARCs more often now, it makes sense for me to have that down. Just as my fonts for my titles change, my fonts for my review itself often change. So this one I'm actually writing in caps lock, which I almost never do because I don't know why I was called to writing in caps lock this time, but I was. It looks a lot more like spaced out, or properly spaced, I guess would be the word. Anyways, I'm just copying down some of what's in my review on my laptop in front of me. If you want to see the full review, you'll have to check out Goodreads or Storygraph because I only put parts of it in here because I like to leave room for it to be a reading journal per se. So sometimes that includes spoilers. You don't have to worry about spoilers. For this one, I don't think I wrote any spoilers in it. But what I'm saying is I like to kind of keep it a free thought. It's not always worrying about the grammar and making sure I'm putting my thoughts into it properly like I do with my Goodreads and Storygraph to make sure you can fully get the picture of what I felt. This one is just a journal, so I write whatever it is that comes to mind about it. So I do write some of the stuff from my review because those are still my thoughts, but I also just kind of give myself the space to think freely about it, think about what the story means to me and whatnot, things that I don't always input into my reviews. That being said, I'm going to take a moment to tell you guys that I do really love this story. I can't remember if I put the star rating on here now because I'm getting nervous watching back this video and seeing that these stars are not filled out yet. I'm hoping I did it at the end, so we'll have to see. But I'm pretty sure this one was a 4.75 star rating for me, which is really high for me. And I really enjoyed this one. I love classic literature, and this includes Lady Macbeth and Clytemnestra. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but these are both stories that I know and I've heard of, and I'm so interested in knowing more about them, especially now after reading it. But they are villains in their stories, and now they're in a world of stories, and they have to figure out if that's who they are without the narrative driving them that way. And it is such a compelling read. It is so well written, and it kind of has that lyrical prose that classic works have that really bring you to that sense of the classics. It was really, really cool. I loved seeing this sapphic story of them, and I would really recommend it. We're getting to the end of my review here, so I hope that this explained a little bit more of my thought process while journaling and writing my reviews. But let me know down below if you guys want me to do more videos like these so you can get a clearer understanding, because I know I didn't explain that much. But that's it for today. Here's the finished page. And there is my updated journal. I feel like it turned out really cute. It's not like my favorite of my journaling pages, but I'm proud of it. If you enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments what your most recent read was and what you rated it. And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon if you want to get notified when I post. And until next time, see you in the next video. Happy reading!